Hi, everybody. Hello and welcome. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, everybody. Just gonna wait for others to join us. If you can hear me, do let me know in the comment section. If you can hear me, guys, do let me know. I'm sorry, I'm about 15 minutes late. I was just rushing from work. Hello, Fashion with Lifestyle. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Abby. I thought I was not going to be able to do this live stream because I thought I'll be able to get away from work because work looked okay. But then, the last case is not come out until 7 o'clock. And I'm like, there's no chance of me living here today. So please like and share as you come in, guys. Thank you so much for confirming that you can hear me. Hello, everybody. Please come on in. Please come on in. Let's talk this talk because it's starting to become really crazy. It's starting to become really crazy. I wanted to do this story straight away when I saw the news, but I was like, you know what, guys, I've got lots of videos that I've already scheduled. I don't want to do a sit down video. I'd rather do it as a live stream. So thank you so much, Abby. If you see the way I jumped out into the car, that I must get home to do this show no later than the time I scheduled. So I think there's enough people watching me. Please like and share as you come in. I'm trying to get the page of where the news of this lady is. I'm trying to get the page. So guys, pardon me as I'm coming. So as you come in, please like and share as you come in. And I'm actually trying to get to the page of that pastor actually, so that we can see what people have been talking about this pastor who unalive his wife. So we're just going to get started based on the stories that I've read. Okay, it's been alleged that this lady is a. When I saw your status, I kept looking at your channel. Yeah, I know there was no way I was going to miss. I didn't want to postpone it again. So, based on the news of this Kiki, what's this person's name? Let me find her name again. Her name is Chief Shemite. Chief Shemite. Is it Shemite or she might love favor? I think that's her name. I think that's her name. So, yeah. So this lady, according to the picture you see on my thumbnail there, can you guys see how beautiful she is? Did you guys see how beautiful she is? Let me share the screen of the news that I saw on. Let me find the page. Okay. Let me share the page with you guys. So you guys see how beautiful she is. I'm sharing my page with you. Can you see how beautiful she is? So she is a chief. Her name is Shimitai Bello. Okay, Shimite Bello, if that's her name, I'm not sure. I don't know how to pronounce it really well. And I've been trying to read a lot more about this lady today while I was at work so that I can get my facts right. I just could not concentrate at work. So whatever information I'm giving here is from what I learned from the case when the news broke out a day or two ago. So to the best of my knowledge, she is a politician. Okay. She is a politician. And according to the news here, the she is Delta State, obviously. So she's a special advisor to the state governor on trade and export. Like, this is beauty with brains. Beauty with brains. So Chief Mrs. Shimita Bello, at the early hours of Easter Day, the Guardian finally revealed that she was allegedly poisoned by her husband. And who is her husband? Her husband is a pastor. Allegedly poisoned by her husband, Pastor David Favor Love, during a minor quarrel. You guys write that down. Minor quarrel. Minor quarrel. Sources said she was immediately rushed to the St. Luke's Hospital in Asaba, where she was confirmed unalive after efforts of medical personnel to save her field. According to According to one of the family members who spoke on the conditions of anonymity, late Shimite was in good health when I spoke with her a day before she died. In quote, I spoke with her for over an hour on Saturday. Nothing was wrong with her. On Sunday, I sent her Easter messages, but she didn't reply, which was unusual. The family source revealed that Shimita's maid called her elder brother, informing him that the husband had locked Shimite in the house since morning. Following this information, her brother rushed in and found her already foaming from her mouth, then rushed her to the hospital, but she was confirmed dead by doctors on duty, the sources said. A friend of the deceased, Maxwell Adjufo, described her death as heartbreaking. Adjufo said, in quote, "What a way to start Easter on Monday. I can only hope desperately that what I just ate isn't true. I'm cold, very cold." So there's no going back and forth with who this lady is or what her husband is. Let me stop sharing this page. So she is a politician, a well-learned politician. And from the news that I've found so far, very beautiful lady, news that I've found so far, it's been alleged that she was once married. I'm going to use alleged because, like I said, these are information that I was able to gather from when the news broke 2 days ago. She was once allegedly married before, and also this pastor was also allegedly married before. Guys, correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong, okay? So, pastor was previously married allegedly. This lady Shimete was also previously married allegedly. And who took her life? Her husband, a pastor. Guys, I have a lot to say, and a lot of what I have to say, people might say, "Oh, Wemi, you're not being sensitive here." I've got blame for this woman. Okay, I have got blames for this woman. And as for the man, let him rot in hell 100 times over. But I've got blames for the woman. Like I said, she's beautiful, absolutely sad and infuriating, Habi. She's beautiful, well learned. She has power. Obviously, people will be like, "Oh, women of nowadays, why they are not living their, you know, why they are not living their abusive relationship, or why they are not living their abusive man or husband is because they do not have the means to. Where would they go? They do not have a job. They do not have where to go. They do not have this. They do not have that." That is what most excuses of every woman who is still one way or the other staying with their abuser will say. But in the case of this woman, hello, welcome, Cindy. In the case of Shimitai or Shimite, please, guys, I'm not pronouncing her name well. In the case of this lady, she has power. She has money. Why did she stay? Why did she stay? I know people say, "Oh, don't say that to her. Don't say that about her. She's gone now." Like, I know she's gone, and my condolences goes to her family. It's been alleged that she was once married. I don't know what transpired in her previous marriage. But then I do not blame her for giving love a second chance. And then she got married to a clergyman, a pastor. And you will have thought that the pastor would know better. Like part of the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not kill. It's so sad. I really want to try and get some. Let me try and, guys, please like as you are here. Um, I'm really want to try and get a name so I could get some stories on what is happening on social media so far since our demise. Okay. Um I'm trying to get a social media handle because I've seen lots of posts on Facebook about her. Okay. Okay, so there's a post here that I saw from this lady. Let me see if I can share my page with you. So there's a page I was following earlier on, and she was sharing stuff like, "Hello, Purpose Woman, welcome." So there's been a lot of developing stories. There's been a lot of stuff being said by people. So this person on X has been sharing a lot, over saying that this is the lady, this is the woman. Can you see how beautiful she is? Can you see how beautiful she is, guys? Can you see how beautiful she is? Like, for the fact, like, her beauty alone. Osila Baby said he is a fraudster, allegedly, not a pastor. Okay. I'm sure, like I said in my post, that this is a developing story. Okay. That this is a developing story and there's going to be many more to come out. So the post here is this. So this person posted that this man, so this is a pastor, alleged pastor. Hello, Habe Crystal, how are you? Please like this live stream, guys, as you come in. So now the husband be this see person we poison person. Look at him, an alleged pastor. So this man, Favor Gem, is responsible for isolating Shimete from her family in just 1 year, allegedly stealing from her, transferring ownership of her properties to himself. Just a few days ago, she was asking for a list of her assets. And then as at that time, she's dead. Yes, Abe Crystal, allegedly she suffered DV. Yeah, I've seen lots of posts today, even yesterday, that there's been multiple cases of DV with her. So that's what this post is obviously, claiming here that, what, this man allegedly, he was being, obviously isolating her. And this guy is, it just goes to, like, if you are married, I have to be frank with you guys. If you are married and your husband is isolating you, is telling you what friends you can move with and what friend you cannot move with, is telling you who you can talk to and whom you cannot talk to, you need to jar yourself away from such man, because that is how they start. They will tell you, oh, I am not the socializing type. So because you, the man, you are not socializing, so I, the wife, I should not socialize. That is how they start. They will start by cutting you off from people that matters to you. They will start cutting you off from people whom are your social circle. That was how it started with this man, isolating her in just 1 year. And then transferred her ownership. Like, why would he transfer his wife's properties to his own, like to his name? No be man suppose they give wife properties. Is it not the man that's meant to give the wife property? As an African man, as a dogu, they call themselves. Just a few days ago, she was asking for a list of her assets. And what happened? This man allegedly poisoned her. So according to this post, he has been remanded in custody for allegedly poisoning his wife and locking her daughter in with her dying mother. So I don't know if Shimite has any children for this man. I don't know. Like I said, it's a developing story. There's still a lot more that I do not know. Okay. Another femicide statistics. Another woman dead at the hands of her husband. One day, enough will be enough. Look at her. That's her. Gone. Her life cannot be brought back again. You will have thought that the man who claimed to love you would be the last person that would want to take your life. On top waiting, property. On top waiting, property. There's a Facebook post I also found. And I think I found that post from it was Harrison's page, where Harrison was, posting about her. Let me quickly find that post on Facebook as well. And I'm going to find the lady's page before her demise. So let me stop sharing this page now. Abe said is a narcissist. Unfortunately, a lot of them cover with the title. This one is not a pastor. I'm sorry, he is not a pastor. He is not a pastor. Let me share another page with you guys. Let me share another page with you guys. So this is our Facebook profile. That's all about her. EA, Delta State government, works at Delta State government. So this is her page. And it's been alleged that she used to host a certain program. So you can see her, she's into politics. She's well known everywhere. It's just sad. Look at our beautiful picture. Look at our beautiful picture. There's another page that is here, Auntie Adonis page on Facebook. Real talk with Auntie Adonis, because I think she was. Let me stop sharing that until I find that page, and I'll show you where I would really want to show you guys. the post of the story exactly, because like I said, this is a developing story. Like, I'm so mad in my spirit, and we are getting somewhere because I have talks. I have so many things to say. I'm getting there. Okay, let me find the post because Auntie Adoni made a post of the story. Guys, like this live stream as you come in, please. I'm trying to find that post. Okay. Trying to find that post here. So as we read earlier, that the man allegedly locked the woman in the room with her daughter. With her daughter. I don't know how young that daughter is. I don't know if she was young or if she was old. Okay. So there is a video. Let me see if I can share that with you. Hello, Uncle Beno. Welcome, welcome here. It's good to have you here. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Like, I'm super mad in my spirit. Guys, like, like I said, I have a lot of questions to ask. Why this woman stayed? Because she has money and power. Why did she stay? So this is a video of our daughter, 4-year-old daughter. But I don't know if if she had a child with the man.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Myla said the man
Happy
seems like.
birthday, happy birthday,
Please slide the light to
happy
come in.
birthday to you. You are most. Oh yeah, make sure you
So
applause
that's her
for
4-year-old daughter.
today. You applause for
Hello,
today.
Janet G. Welcome.
You applause for today. You.
So that's a video of our daughter. Like I said, this is a developing story. I do not have all the details about this story, but I'm trying to read based on information that I found so far. You know, guys, I'm getting somewhere. I'm yet to let out all I have in my mind. Okay. So this is the story I wanted to read for you guys. So it says here that the lady in question, this politician lady, she is known as Madame Sabificate, and she's allegedly died of poisoning. She died on Easter Sunday. Family sources told her that her husband was allegedly, he's been arrested, and we all know what she does. She died under circumstances that has sparked serious suspicion and controversy. Like I said, she's popularly called Madame Sabificate. Shimite allegedly died of poisoning on Easter Sunday. Family told, or that has been said. It's been said that they found her. Family people have been speaking already, and somebody here said, in quote, since he came into her life, he cut her off everyone. Guys, I'm saying this. If you are ever with a man, either you have been married for 40 years, I don't bloody care. If you're ever with a man, you've been married for how long, and this person is cutting you off from the people who are your support system, trust me, that man do not want good for you. That man is never meant to be in your life, because how the hell? Because before you met him, there are some people you moved with before. There are some people you have as their social supporters. There are some people in your life. Either you dated them before or whatever. There are some people, like I always say to my husband at times, that come, we passed that phase in my relationship at some point, and I'm like, come, these people you're trying me not to talk to, I've known them before I met you. We went to school together. I was childhood friends with them. We were living on the same streets. So just because you married me now, you're telling me not to move with some people. I told him no. That come, you can't cut me off these people. I turned it down straight away. And I've always said this, guys, that me coming out here to talk about all these things, I've got my own shitty things in my own cupboard. I am not a saint. And I'm not saying I know it all, but I will not take any shit from any man. I don't care how long I've been married for. I don't care what it is you bring to the table as a man. And I don't care what you expect me or you think I have brought to the table. You treat me, if I see any sign of you trying to treat me dirty, I will walk. So this man allegedly cut her off everyone. Our own brother, our own family couldn't even visit. He wouldn't let her go to the office. He was always trailing her. Even when the name on all her properties in Abuja and elsewhere were changed to his name. Like, how the freaking hell was he allowed to change her properties to his name. No be man they give woman property. Now man they give woman property in Africa. We believe she was manipulated, hypnotized even. A family source said if she were not hypnotized, which woman with the right senses would do such? Exactly. What kind of love is that? Your husband will follow you everywhere you went and you wouldn't see anything wrong with that. When my marriage was young, my husband used to call me 247. Even though he knows where I am going. He was like, oh, have you got to where you're going? This is that. And I'm like, man, you know where I'm going. I told you where I'm going. Why all this sudden call? As time goes on, he stopped, and I'm happy that way. People like, oh, for the fact that he's calling, is that he cares. No, don't trial me, because I think for the fact that he's doing that, it's making me uncomfortable. It's making me feel as if where I said I was going was not where I was going or I went. Guys, please like this live stream for me. There's 30 of you watching. I've only got 10, 11 likes. Please, guys, like this live stream for me. I'm raging in my spirit right now. It would follow her everywhere. Your husband will lock you in and not allow you to go to the office. Anytime you tell Shimite about certain things, she will tell her husband, don't worry, my husband is a pastor. He's my spiritual leader. God punish the pastor. She will tell you, don't worry, he's my spiritual leader. He sees everything. It's very unfortunate Shimite had to learn the hard way. How could a special advisor to a governor just buy like that? Sources close to the family described Pastor David as overprotective and jealous, and suggested he was intimidated by Shimite's prominence and beauty. The man had nothing before meeting her. He only came to drain her. It's heartbreaking. That's the story there. No more story. And this is to the women. Now, like, guys, please like this live stream for me. Like I said, me sitting down here, I've been married for 20 years. And it's not all been smooth sailing, I have to tell you. It's not all been bed of roses for those 20 years. And now let's start from the church. He is a pastor. Every time they tell her something, she tells her husband, he's my spiritual father. God punished that spiritual father. Because a spiritual father you expect would know better. Thou shalt not kill. This is a pastor who would go on the pulpit to preach. You would think he will know better. Not to put his hands on his wife. Not to abuse his wife. Not to treat his wife as a lesser being as compared to him. But no, because of properties, because of our status, political status or social status, he took her life allegedly. And now, I have to say this to you guys. I am a Christian. And yes, when there are some things that it's really not going the way I go, I will go see my pastor. Now, if you're in a DV relationship, marriage, whatsoever you want to call it, and the man is putting his hands on you, and your pastor is telling you to sit down there, before you leave that pastor, ask that pastor that, come, when he's bragging me, would you come and take a share of the beating? I want you to ask that pastor that question. If the pastor is advising you, the woman, to stay in that marriage where your husband has turned you to panel beating, or is panel beating you, if the pastor or the Lady Gio, Madam Gio, Mommy Gio is telling you to remain in that marriage, please, before you leave where they're advising you that advice in that church, ask the Mommy Gio and the Daddy Gio that, would you take part of the panel beating when it starts it? Whatever answer they give to you should help you decide if you should go back to that marriage or not. Janet G said, but it's those same pastors that are telling women to say endure and pray. Me, I am, look, read my lips. Read my lips. There are so many things that could go wrong in a DV relationship. I was just reading a story of where a woman has lost 2 children in the process of a DV, in the process of her husband trying to panel beat her, and the husband took a metal rod which was meant to hit the woman, accidentally hit the child. Now that child died. I'm going to bring that story. Maybe I'm traveling this weekend. Maybe I will do it tomorrow night because I'm not working tomorrow. So I'll do that story tonight. So this is a woman who has been married to the same man and she has lost 2 children via DV. This first pregnancy, she was pregnant, 10th time pregnant. The man panel beat her. She gave birth to a stillborn. And that woman still stayed with the man. This time again, their 5-year-old son, they were again fighting. The man was panel beating her. In the presence of the man panel beating her, the pole that he took meant for the wife hit their 5-year-old son. That boy died. 2 children. We will do that story tomorrow night. So, like I said, if a pastor is advising you to stay in a DV marriage, that pastor do not love you. We've seen pastors, Pastor Yakilome is divorced, once divorced. We've seen pastors who are divorcing. We've seen pastors who are divorcing. So if we see pastor in today's modern world, in today's society, who are divorcing, and the pastor is telling you to stay with a man who has turned you to a panel beating workshop, then you do not value your life. That's a way. And then 2, I'm going to keep saying this and I'm going to say it over again. If you're going to get married, I think it's high time you turn a private investigator and investigate that man you're getting married to. Everybody's a pastor now, Abby, here. You should take it upon yourself. If you value your life, you should take it upon yourself to investigate that man real good before you get married to him. Because some people, they are just time bomb walking. They are just time bomb walking, and they want somebody's life they will cobalize with their own. So you married a pastor, and also this woman now, some women who decide to stay in DV marriage will say, well, because they don't have a source of income, they don't have where to go. Where will they go? This, that, this. That is why they don't want to live. But in this case of this woman, this is why I said I have a fault for her. In the case of this woman, she has the power. Pardon me. God forbid I was the one in her position with such power. The first time the man put his hands on me, I swear to God, I just need to arrange my security guard to go and put him somewhere and give him correct panelability for 3 days only. After 3 days, hello, welcome, and no prestige. After that 3 days of beating, like show him shege, let him come back to the house as my husband again and let him try put his hands on me. She has the power, the money, the security to show that man shege when he ever tries to put his hands on her. She did not. Love that will put you through pain is not love. It is not a marriage. Like I said, she has the power. She has a security panel. Like she has guards, security people that the man put hand on you alone for the first time. Jejely, just ask your security guys to carry him, go and put him somewhere, go and lock him into one of your store, give him correct basketballs for a week. After then, let them bring him out. She did not do that. So guys, I really want to, I'm trying to put my head around I'm trying to figure out why she stayed. So in this case, money was not the problem. She could have left. She was rich. She knew people. She has social status. Could it be because she was previously married and then she gave marriage a try again, and because obviously DV, she decided to stay? And also, the society, families need to do away with what will people say if your daughter decides to pack her bags and come back home to her father's house. If your daughter decides to leave her marriage and come back home, you should throw a party for her. There's something in America now that when people divorce, they are throwing divorce party. They are throwing divorce party, saying that they are throwing a good, like a spinster, maybe bridesmaid party that they are divorced. Society needs to stop shaming women because they decide to leave a crazy psycho partner. And for you women, I've always said this: if you want to get married, you don't have a job, you don't have a source of income, abort mission. Do not get married. And also, women, what will people say? What will people say? I am staying for my children. Me that I am sitting down here, I do not have DV in my marriage. No. There's no DV in my marriage. Maybe the only thing was a slap, and that was when our marriage was very, very young. And yes, I stood up straight away to put a stop to it. You do it again, one of us will reach Baba God place. And since then, it's never happened. That might not be the same. Some people, there are some areas in their marriages that are able to vocalize what they want or what's going to happen, and in some areas they are not. But in my own case, I know in that aspect of DV, it's something I sing because I am a child who was raised in a house of DV. I have shared my story here, and I think I still suffer from that trauma of my parents, my father being, to my mom. I've not gotten over that trauma because till tomorrow, I've still got the effects of that trauma on me. So you are not only damaging your children if you stay in a domestic violence relationship, you are damaging them. And such child or such children will grow up and then they'll become a nemesis to another person who all they want in their life was easy life. Don't say you want to stay for your children, because at the end of the day, this woman is gone now. Our children's life is not on hold. Our children's life is going to keep going. Our children will evolve. They will grow. They will do without their mother. Women, let your children say, I want to go and visit my mom so she will take me to the park, than your children going to visit you at a graveside. Because it's so heartbreaking that someone who is learned, who read book, has power, has money, decide to stay with this man. What kind of hold does the man have on her? Yes, I am a Christian. And you guys know I don't hide the church I attend. I attend MFM. But still, you know why I am not a worker in my church today? You all know MFM, you're not supposed to wear makeup, blah, blah, blah. I wear makeup. And because of that, I can't hold a church position in my church. And I'm happy that way, because I am not ready to go to church looking tattered. I'm not ready to go to church looking like somebody who is mourning. No. When I go to church, I go into church gallantly. I'm not going to go to church looking like somebody who just lost somebody. No. And you all know, if you know MFM, you can't wear certain clothes. You can't wear makeup. If you go to MFM, you need to tie your hair. And I'm like, God, it is my heart that matters when I go to worship God. It is not my outward signs. So if it means say I know if it be usher for church, so be it. If it means say I know if it be choir for church, let it be so, because I have my own personal relationship with God. So those of you who have turned your pastor to your lifesaver, who have turned your pastor to the battery of your life, you are all going down the drain, because this is it now. Mommy Gio left her husband. She probably stayed because of what people will say, or because she tried married for the first time. It did not work. And then the second time, what will people say if she now leaves the second time? Pastors are divorcing. You know what, guys? If I could keep going on and on, but one thing I want you to take away from this is this: you only live this life once. You only live this life once. When you die, that's it. You're not coming back. This man now, he will probably go to jail for how many years? That is if he eventually goes to jail. Because he might come out here and come and prove insanity. He still has a chance to life to either remarry again and maybe do lots of kerewa afterward for the rest of his life. But you, the woman, you are gone. Such a beautiful woman. And now she's left her children with no mother. Left her children motherless. They will never see their mother again. They will never say, oh, mom, can you take me to the park? They will never say, mom, can you take me to go get some fast food? Rather, they will grow and go to a graveyard to go and visit their mother. Women, open your eyes. Marriage is sweet, yes. But when it comes to a situation whereby it's causing you pain, it is no longer like, how can somebody who claim to love you, somebody who claim to love you, think you should be treated like a slave? Make it make sense. Exactly, Joseph. Say it and say it as you mean it. I've just shared here. The day my husband, like I said, I think our marriage was barely a year when he slapped me. I stood up. Like, do it again. Do it again. Because I already told him before we got married, like, come, you can never, ever put your hands on me. This is what I battled in my own house as a child. And I will not be put through such. And you now do it. And mommy, I stood up. I do it again. One of us go meet Baba God. Until date, it's never repeated itself. It's never repeated itself. Now, I'm not saying that I know women, we could not talk and do all sorts of things, but nothing. And there's this slogan of Ile-oko, that when you get married, when you go to your husband's house, you learn a lesson. No, you're not learning any lesson. being a married woman in your husband's house. All of the training you need, your parents has given to you. It is those training that your parents gave to you that you now take to your husband's house, and you now put across like unbeatable being your man training, being where you've been battered. You also try and remodel yourself. So all the lessons that your parents gave you when you were there, when you are in their house, it is all of those lessons that you remodel, repackage, and apply it to your life as a married woman. You don't go to your husband's house to go and take a lesson from your in-laws. No, no. Guys, I'm going to drop the link here if anybody wants to come in and say one or two things. I could keep going on, and I could end up saying what I don't want to say. But the link is in the comment section. If anybody wants to jump in, the floor is open. Hello, everybody. Please like this live stream for me. There's 46 of you watching. Please double tap. If you're watching me from your mobile, double tap the screen and then record your like. If you're watching me from a gadget like a laptop or a iPad, you can just click on the thumbs up button and it will record the live for me, okay? Guys, the link is in the comment section. If you want to jump in, please do so. Like, what shameless man would take the property of his wife? You be man. Why are you not working to provide that property you've taken off your wife? Why are you not working to give her the same? He apparently married her for her money. He isolated her allegedly. Wouldn't allow her speak even to her own family. If anything is shared with her, oh, my husband is a pastor. My husband is my spiritual father. And now spiritual father has sent you to your spiritual heaven. Joseph Oladimedi said, I told my daughters that are not married yet that the day your husband raises hands to beat you, just have my daughters are told I told them as well, come. No. A slap like this, you're not staying. You are not staying. Me, I'll come there to come and use my hand to pack your bags. I don't care what anybody's going to say. Because the effect of DV on your children alone, guys, I would say now that maybe in my early 40s, I am much calmer now. I am much calmer. Before I am where I am today, when I go off, when I see green lights, I don't see red. So when I talk about me, when I see green light, I don't see red. I am not physical. I just go like my mouth it doesn't stop. It keeps going. And I don't care what word comes out of it. But now I am much more, I think about my words. I choose my words very well. I choose my words very well. And you guys know what words could do to some people. I choose my words very, very well. Prior to that, when I go off, I don't see red. Once I see green, I don't stop. But I'm thanking God for where I am right now. Guys, the link is in the comment section if you want to jump in, okay? Vivian said, this lady's story really got to me. The amount of gender-based violence on a daily basis in our communities is beyond alarming. And I think because what is contributing to this also is because the culprits, we don't have a functional justice system in Nigeria. Because if we have a functional justice system in Nigeria, can you imagine what would happen if this happened in the US? Some parts in the US, they are still buying people if they commit crimes. Do you know what would have happened if this were to happen in China or North Korea or all this, all these places? This man, he wouldn't have seen the light of day. He wouldn't have seen the light of day. But Nigeria, let me rest my case there. Hello, Abby, welcome. Unmute yourself.
Good evening, sis. Good evening, everybody. So I think outside of even the government and the justice system, I think we have a very victim blaming society. Even under posts like this, you'll still see people ask questions like, what did she do?
I've seen it.
All the time with things that, in other cases of like rape and stuff like that, you hear stuff like, what did she wear? As if we've not had situations where people have actually worn like a full hijab and stuff and still been in those situations. So we have that as well. And I wanted to say that It's unfortunate how long it's going to take to fix lots of things, because I do think, just like what I think his name is Joseph, Mr. Joseph in the comment section said,
Yeah.
I think it's very important that these things start from home.
Mm.
There's no reason. I've heard a lot of people say stuff like, even on the internet and stuff, say stuff like, once they leave their parents' house, their parents tell them stuff like they're not allowed to come back. Not putting your children in a position where they know they can always run back home is a very bad idea.
Exactly.
Also, we have to also remember that there's people, I have a friend like that. There are people that use marriage as an opportunity to run away from their families.
Yeah.
Their families are equally toxic or even worse. So,
Mm.
where does that person want to run back to? When you have a mother that talks down on you or is a narcissist herself,
Hmm.
you can't, it was almost like you can't run back home. So I think
Mm.
that's even the saddest part is, outside of society and the justice system, even our homes that's meant to be the first point of protection to us,
Yeah.
you know. And funny enough, I was saying to my friend today about decisions around her wedding, and I said that my opinion is that she needs to stand her ground on certain things.
Yes.
And
So.
unfortunately, um I gave a story about when I was engaged, and my ex's mom insisted that we're getting married in the Catholic church. I said, but I'm Anglican and I'm a Yoruba woman. He's
Yeah.
Igbo. We do everything the woman's way. I mean, we're getting
Exactly.
married in Lagos. So we
Yeah.
get married in my church, and I'd compromised and said, um, let's do a church blessing in a Catholic church.
Mm-hmm.
And she went ahead to say, if we don't get married in a Catholic church, his dad will be denied, of which we found out that it was a lie. She just said that because she wanted her way.
We.
So I
Mm.
say this to say that my dad's friends advised him that that's an opportunity for you to stand your ground and show the other
Yeah.
family that you don't play about your daughter. It
Exactly.
might seem very little, but tradition is tradition,
Yeah.
right? There's a reason why when you say invitation or anything, you see the woman's name first. That is how we do it in Nigeria,
Yes.
right? Anyway, so the conclusion, or what I was even getting at, is families not showing you. I've said this before on this channel. Families need to show that they do not play about their
Yeah.
daughters.
Yeah.
They need to show. Nobody is saying it has to be a big fight or it has to be a threat, but you need to show that, listen, this is my prize jewel. I don't play about her. It's not
Yeah.
only tradition, come and pay bride price. So certain traditions, you will pay millions and millions, buy baskets and baskets of yam. That is not enough. And it starts with little things. So
Yes.
that's kind of what I wanted to touch on.
Yeah.
Family and pushing their daughters away rather than actually
Yeah.
protecting them.
It's crazy. It's great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that contribution, Abby. Guys, the link's in the comment section. If you want to jump in, please jump in. Jump in. Let's take more calls. Like with the men in the house, I've seen a couple of men in the house. You guys should know how I do. You need to come in because at the end of the day, I really need to know what men really want. What the men really want. Because this woman, like I said, she's rich, has money, has everything. She's been married once before and she tried marriage again. And it's been alleged that this man too has been married before. So what actually goes on in the heads of some men who think that their wife is something they could turn into a punching bag? Eh? What makes them think you could? Even your wife is not for you to train. You're not for you to train your wife. You're not for you to tell your wife that, hey, you sit down there, I'm talking, you're talking. Like, who the hell? You talk, I talk. That's how we did. Because at the end of the day, now you can't marry me. I did not force you to marry me. Now it's taking her. She's gone for life. I wish when she had the chance to leave, I wish she had left that marriage. And for those of you who are fond of marriage shaming people, say, oh, marriage did not work. You made this, that. You better blink your left eye twice if your husband is panel beating you, so we can advise you to pack your bags and leave. And don't get me wrong, guys. ABUSC comes in all forms. It comes in all forms. There are some men who don't provide for their wife. They don't even care how their wife feed. Talk more, say how the wife they buy clothes, they buy pants. There are some men Like there's emotional abuse, physical abuse, so all forms of abuse. But the one that could either take your life really quick is that DV one, because it might move close to you and give you one panel across the face. What if you fall and you don't get up? What if you fall and you do not get back up? Emotional is even worse, Abby. Because there are no scars. Guys, the link to the show, if you want to come see one or two things, guys. I know I saw two men in the house earlier on. My internet is flickering right now. I saw two men or even three men in the comment earlier on. The link is in the comment section. This is your chance to jump in and say one or two things. And then if there's nobody, we will round up once it's an hour. But I'm just going to scroll back and read some of the comments I found here. So Vivian said, no wonder up north the Fulanis or Canaries flog the husbands to be under lashes by the uncles, dads, and brothers. I bet the memory of the flogging scares the grooms from. See, maybe if we start from there. How can a husband be jealous of his own wife? And with that even being said, I saw a post earlier on, and the lady was like, obviously there was a post about what makes you think or what happened to let you realize that it's not the man you're going to marry. One said, "Oh, the man kept saying that that she has a high paying job, and the man said to her, well, as soon as we get married, you're no longer going to work." And she was like, "Yes, she broke our engagements." The person that was open to come in, the person that was open to come to us in the house. Welcome,
Hi, Daddy
everybody.
Freeze.
Welcome to Prestige.
How you doing, mommy of five?
Very
How are
well,
you?
very well, very well. Just a quick intro to a fan of Prestige. It does everything: marriage counseling, advice, relationship. You know, just go hook up on it. It's gonna fix you. Okay, it will fix you.
Thank you. I
Right.
appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate you. How you
You've
doing?
got it, floor, sir.
Yeah, I was listening. I was kind of doing some other thing in the background, but since you said a couple of times, I said, okay. I think I saw Uncle Beno was there earlier too, but
I
it's
said,
probably working.
Uncle Beno, come out, oh.
Yeah. So, but I missed the better part of your first half of your. What is the backstory to this lady? No, before I say
Backstory.
that, it doesn't matter.
So,
First of all, it doesn't matter. Let me before you tell me, it doesn't matter.
wait,
If somebody don't know how to keep their hands to themselves, I disagree with you, mom of five. Don't stay there and be investigating. The first thing you do is you should leave first
darling.
before you do anything else. Okay, because like you said, you don't know. What if somebody touched you in the wrong place and then it's over? There's no coming back from it.
No coming back. Absolutely.
So it's not worth it. Don't sit down there and don't be pulling cameras together, be doing investigative, detective or anything like that. You need to leave first. It doesn't have to be a permanent decision, but leave first.
Yeah.
You know. But now you can tell me the backstory. The backstory doesn't matter. We're just saying.
Chief. So apparently the lady in question, her name is she's a chief, Shimite. I don't know if that's how to pronounce her name. Shimite Love Favor, and she's married to a pastor called Pastor David Favor Love. So
Mm.
apparently the pastor is a 51-year-old man, and I believe she's a 40-something-year-old lady. Absolutely, she's a 48-year-old lady, absolutely beautiful. And she is a chief she's special advisor to Delta states on trade and
Oh, that
in
story. Yeah.
Delta state. Yeah. So
Yeah.
apparently, obviously, like I said, still a developing story. She was allegedly married once before, and the
Uh-huh.
pastor has also been allegedly married once before. So the story is that for a year now, he's isolated her, transferred all of her properties to his name,
Hmm.
wouldn't allow family see her. She doesn't want her meeting with anybody. It would follow her everywhere. Practically does not have a life of her own. So it's been alleged now that she was poisoned allegedly by the husband. And there's
Hmm.
a long story of how obviously she started being sick and just not like, she'll be fine, she'll be fine, she'll be fine. Then allegedly locked her in a room. It was the housemaid who was not able to get into the room that now phoned this lady's sister and say, "Oh, come, your sister, I can't get into the room. Oh." Brother came round, forced door open, found her foaming in the mouth. By the time they got her to the hospital, she was pronounced dead on arrival. So now the story is that her husband allegedly poisoned her, and he has been arrested in custody at the moment. That's what we've heard of the story so far.
That's crazy. Yeah. I mean, there's so that is it's one of the many reasons why we tell people don't just sit down there and be, as soon as you catch yourself, because some people it might not be as straightforward as this is in the in the middle of the experience. I think you mentioned earlier on something that happened earlier on in your marriage too, right? It's not always obvious that that's what's about to happen. It's probably an escalated conversation, right? It usually starts as as an argument,
Yeah,
that's the usual. There's the unusual, or I don't know what the numbers are. There are some people that are prone to, that's just how they were raised. They communicate with their hands. If you find out you're married to that person, leave.
yeah,
Because some people, that's what they learned. Yeah, to a large extent, it's a learned behavior. Once they start, they usually start by being animated. That their hands might be moving a lot. You
yeah,
know, in the name of they're explaining something, and before you know it, they
yeah,
triggered, they blackout, it just escalates. So don't wait for that long. It's not normal. It's not normal, because we've had people on the social media say, so you want to say it never happened to you before? That's them attempting to normalize it.
yeah,
Okay, nobody is talking if it's happened to you before or not. It is not normal for people to not know how to keep their hands to themselves. Even when we talk about children these days, we're saying the same thing. Even with your children, don't just be so quick to raise your hands. Use your mouth. Learn how to communicate. Be patient. Patience is a big piece of it. Yeah, like people could lose their patience, yes,
yeah,
but don't do that. And then ladies, definitely are a big culprit in this. I'm just talking generally, right?
yeah,
But running your mouth, you have no idea who you're dealing with oftentimes.
yeah,
That doesn't excuse anybody raising their hands against you. But we're just saying, don't wait until it actually becomes something physical. You mentioned earlier that there's no scars. There's no physical scars. The emotional scars are real.
yeah,
Don't the emotional scars on your children. A lot of children have seen things because people don't know how to catch themselves when they are getting into that space.
yeah,
People just can't pick themselves up and go and stay in a hotel room for the night if things are seeming to get out of control. Go and stay at a friend's house for the night. Go and sleep in the car in the parking lot if you have to, if you're that broke. Do what you have to do, but don't have your kids looking at this kind of craziness. Because now this has been picked up right now. It's too late.
yes,
It's too late on both sides. Both two lives are over. So, and I it's one too many. I don't care if it's a few. It's only once in a while that happens. I don't care. It's one too many. We can't have people going into marriage and then destroying themselves in the name of an argument. One thing I want to say here, real quick, emotional abuse, verbal abuse are worse
yeah,
because that's where they start from.
mm-hmm,
That's number one. Number two, again, the emotional scars are real. My wife used to say something. She would say, "Ẹyin lọ̀rọ̀."
yeah. Though as jabo kò ṣeé kó.
You can't pick it up anymore. It's over. So don't just run your mouth, gentlemen. Men have a lot of men have this they have this habit of hold on one second. A lot of men have this habit of you know they are quote unquote correction, right? They're correcting you, but you're receiving it as verbal abuse, or you don't feel like you can say something because there's no end to it, and they might go on and on and on and on about it, right? So or you talk back, it becomes you're disrespectful. Again, those are the really small telltale signs that you're going in the direction of what we're talking about today.
Yeah,
People just don't fall out of the skies and fall in the middle of somebody got poisoned or something like that. I mean, that's a crazy story. That's another wild story. The whole poison thing is wild. I don't know what could have caused something like that. But in terms of physical altercation itself,
Yeah.
it starts with a conversation. It starts with people that are having conversation that don't know how to have conversations. People that don't know how to communicate with another human being. That's where it starts from. So slow down. If somebody is not receiving what you say very well, if they're not receiving what you say as complimentary or as correction or anything like that, slow down. They're not listening to that form of communication. You need to find another way.
Yeah.
Or it could just be the timing is off.
Yeah.
So these are the kind of things that happen. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, man of pressure. I really appreciate your presence here. So I found a video just now on Hello Felicia on Facebook. I've been trying to find some stuff. Obviously, people who are really into this story. Like I said, it's still a developing story. So let's hear what this guy had to say.
Love. Who be this man? I avoided the word pastor because he no get any church where they identify him with.
So he doesn't have a
Pastor
church.
David Love is a man who poses as a man of God,
No baton.
a spiritualist,
No baton.
and manipulates women
Please
who
like
get
the
more
video,
money.
guys. Please like.
Lives off these women, uses them, and dumps them.
Can you imagine?
Allegedly, his real name is Kola Ogundipe. Allegedly. That is his real name. And he did not just start his act with our dear Shimite Bello. May I so rest in peace. Around the year 2015, 2016, he did the same thing to a woman.
Did you guys just hear that his name that is being known as Pastor David Favor, whatever, that's not his name, allegedly? I did not hear well, Let me start again.
Is Kola Ogundipe.
Kola Ogundipe.
Allegedly. That is his real name. And he did not just start his act with our dear Shimite Bello. May I so rest in peace. Around the year 2015, 2016, he did the same thing to a woman in Uyo.
Yeah, so this man is a
very fair, beautiful woman who works in one of the multinational companies in Nigeria. He entered her posing as a man of God.
Wow.
Before we could say Jack Robinson, he has already gotten into her life in full.
I need to go and investigate
to
that.
The extent that she gave birth to 2 children for him. 2 children for this same so-called Pastor David Favor Love.
David, Pastor.
He did not also have a house. He was also living in the woman's house and driving her cars.
I think this is like a format for him.
The same thing happened in Uyo. I would not like to expose the person's name for some reasons. That is one of
this to be like a pattern.
The people that have suffered in his hands. Wow. He continued, and he got to a point when he be like, I don't declare domestic violence setting. Wow. He started beating her to the extent that he beat her up and beat her own mother up. That he beat the wife, so beat his mama, join her. The wife, mama, join her. It happened for a while, and all of a sudden, the guy vanished, entered thin air until this incident. Let me tell you, this man who claims to be a pastor has not been identified with any church. Maybe say na so church they attend or na this church they attend. And he has done a lot of harm to unsuspecting women. Gets into you, eats your money, lives in your house, drives your car around till it is done.
Hey.
The woman in Uyo has been very perplexed because she has been receiving numerous calls by people who felt they were still married. Say, see your husband, Keke Rike. That was the same way he entered our dear Shimite Bello. May her soul rest in peace. Before she got married to him, he had set up so many spiritual manipulation.
Can you imagine?
To the extent that there was a day, this man took her in a car and said that the evil spirits disturbing her were in the bushes. And the person who drove them told me that this.
Right, guys, honestly, it's not funny, but I still really want to understand why she did not leave. Like, you be my, like, I get like guard where they follow me up and down, special advisor. You put your hand, I go first ask them to go and lock you up somewhere to show you pepper for just 2 days. After that 2 days, they now come back and you think it's wise if you want to continue putting your hand on me. I just want to understand why she did not leave, because I've read a post now that said that her family tried so hard to get her out of that marriage, but she was like, this is my spiritual father, blah blah blah. Let's keep listening to. I wish there's a way I could fast forward. I mean, like fast forward the radios. I mean the video, so I don't get a copyright or something.
Stopped at 7 local government areas of Delta State with what he called holy water. When they reach a bush, he will tell her that, see the evil spirit pursuing you. Pull your slippers, take the holy water and sprinkle in the bush till you get to that point, then you come back. That was what they did that day for in over 7 local government areas. And before you could say Jack Robinson, he has entered. In fact, he came as a spiritual father to her.
Wow.
Even one of the commissioners in this state, who was having a very close relationship with her at that point, was very perplexed when he heard of the marriage because nobody saw it coming. Nobody saw it coming. So he started, even the guy when they lament, the commissioner, so he said, this man has been coming with, the babe, and he was even dashing him money. As man of God, when they pray for a friend, he did dash her money, only for her to hear tomorrow say they don't marry. That was how it started. Started by letting her know she had a lot of evil spirits, and she was even bragging, telling all and sundry that before that, the man came into her life, that she had lots of spiritual problems, and that since he came into her life, those spiritual attacks had stopped. Yes, a lot of people would say that Shimite Bello is too intelligent for that. Remember that in 2023.
Again, women. See, it is not a big deal. The richest woman in Africa divorced her husband. The richest woman in Africa divorced her husband. So you are still finishing money on that politician, you still stayed. Man of person, you have the floor.
Yeah, so most women are born in Nigeria, especially, or any poverty-ridden country for that matter, are vulnerable to these types of stories. You're probably, because of social media is still very much in its infancy, by the way, and you're going to see more and more of these kind of crazy stories coming out. I think I saw Abby. Hi, Abby. I saw Abby talking about pastors, and everybody is now a pastor. Everybody, hi Abby. Everybody has a pastor in their family now. Exactly. Everybody has a cousin or uncle or even an auntie who is a pastor. So what happens when you have oversupply of anything in life? Right? It loses its value. Yeah. Right. So, and this is what we're going to continue to see and more of this. In fact, I was listening to a story on Apostle Femi Lazarus channel yesterday. Another pastor's wife, his pastor wife story on there. A woman who says she ran away. So it's not the pastor title. It's about these are human beings. It's about these are human beings, and they either are quality human beings or they are terrible human beings. And maybe everything in between in terms of good or bad person, right? But when people don't know what they're doing, or they think they can manipulate their way using their status, position, what they know, or what they might find vulnerable or risky about you, maybe you are an easy target. So I'm telling African women right now, a lot of you are easy targets. Yeah. You run back and forth from one pastor's house to another alpha's house to another. When you keep doing that, you become an easy target. Even in this social media streets, look at the amount of people that jump on these prayer lines.
Exactly.
That's telltale signs.
I know.
So I'm not saying people should not pray, but we probably should
Like
pay
most
attention to
people,
something.
I've started blocking those ones that are sending me like, no, stop sending me. I don't need, like, I should not sleep again because I want to go and join prayer. Like, they now me kill Jesus.
How do you think they're getting to 50,000 live watching? Because they're sharing them. So,
I've
and a lot of these pastors, I'm not mentioning anybody's names, a
yeah,
lot of these pastors, they are super aware that you are vulnerable and you will eat it up like Indomie.
yeah,
All they have to say is a couple of, it's not too many things they can say that everybody can relate to in terms of issues that people are going through. Everybody have issues in their lives.
yeah,
So if I say 5 of them, you can relate with 1 or 2 of them. And then
exactly.
suddenly you think I'm speaking from a place from God, that I'm the God sent to you. It's possible. Maybe there's something there, maybe there's some kind of value there, but I'm just telling you that same exact thing is a
Yeah,
double-edged sword, and it makes you vulnerable. You're an easy target, and you're going to continue to see this kind of crazy stories coming out. You know, the other side of things is the pressure on somebody who is supposedly a pastor's wife. Pastors are narcissists.
yes,
Listen to
so
what I just said. The position, that position of power is like any other position of power.
yeah,
Sometimes it gets in their head, they don't know when to slow down. No, it's not even they don't know. Every single one of them are not, they're subjected to, there's a certain, they have to apply more energy, more resources towards staying humble and not becoming this power drunk person,
yeah,
because people literally give you that power because maybe you do have a gift of speaking to people's lives. People will make you, okay, it's not their fault, but you will start feeling yourself too
yeah,
much.
exactly. I'm a kakpasoke bianga Igbo. I be
Yeah.
funny.
So you're going to see more of this kind of crazy stories. Sadly, it's been happening forever, by the way. It's just that social media is new.
I mean, it's just the like this year alone. Like, was it this or even late last year? It's just too much. Like marriage. I mean, if I was ever told that marriage is where you go into and you would not come out alive, I would say no. Try again. Now it's
Mm.
something that women go into, and before you know, the wife, the woman, I'm like, how, like it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know how this man was been able to like. It seems like it's a pattern for this man because just like that video said there, that this name is not, that's not even his real name allegedly, and he's done this to the first woman allegedly.
The pastor favor guy.
Yeah, that's what that video, the guy was saying, that he's known as Kola Ogundipe allegedly. He now changed his name to
Mama
David.
five. Women are leaving their husbands for alphas.
Lobaton.
Are you listening to me? Okay. I have male clients who are, I'm saying are because I don't want to be too specific, struggling to get their wife back from the strongholds of some alpha and pastor somewhere.
Lobaton.
Okay. And it usually is accompanied by coconut head. As in like, and that's the person I'm with now. Kilefe Shempa, just leave me alone. Because obviously it's a deeper issue than just, But again, if you are if you are going from place to place to place, you know, so that's typically it's not men. Men have a different set of problems. But when it comes to following pastors around blindly, I think women will have to carry that trophy in a bad way. so
It's sad.
so be careful. Money hungry. Listen, in that country, especially in like in Nigeria or places like that. Just think about it like this: the the problem around money is highlighted for obvious reasons because of the economy issues.
Yeah,
You know, but that exposes other issues. That exposes us to other issues. It
yeah,
also gives the wrong set of people the wrong amount of power
yeah,
in terms of influence powers. I know you mentioned earlier on that I try to be respectful to people's church and denominations and stuff like that.
yeah.
I know you mentioned earlier on that you are part of
MFM.
MFM, right? I have tons of cousins, family members that are part of MFM. I go to a church called Agbalaitura, Abiara's Agbalaitura, CAC, part of CAC.
Yeah.
Listen, Abiara has his stories out there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I am a musician in church. Bottom line is I don't trust none of these ninjas.
Me, I know a lot of my church members are watching me here, so I'm just giving my own.
I don't. Okay, I grew up on between the ages of 1 and 3. I was my parents were workaholics. I was in Texas, and they put me with the AA people that I went to church with in Baptist church. Between the ages of 4 and it's probably 6, 7-ish, I went to Anglican church in Nakure. And then between of 8 and 10, we ended up in White Garments. Guess who took us to White Garment Church?
Your mom.
My mom. Thank you. So, and going to White Garment Church, I saw a lot of stuff. Okay, we saw the bishop, the wali, the prophet, impregnating another person's wife who is another prophetess on that same pulpit while they were on Orioke. Real life story. I didn't mention names.
Oh my God.
I saw it. It's not they told me. It's what I saw. Then between the ages of 12 and probably 16, or we ended up in White Garment Church. Not White Garment, Pentecostal Church. SU-ish. Guess who took us there?
Your mom again.
My mom. So, and what was my mom looking for? Shout out to my mom. She's a beautiful woman. She's 71 years old now. She wanted more offsprings. We were two of us, two boys, and it apparently wasn't enough for her.
Yeah.
So she had her reasons, and she was all over the place. And then family almost fell apart. And then because Baba was playing in the field a little bit, and then she was able to figure that out. Baba ended up being an elder in the Pentecostal. He followed us everywhere we went to, in every single one of those places. You see the confusion is real. So I've seen between the White Garment and the Pentecostal, we were briefly at CSC. CSC is my mom's original background, where her father went. Her father was an elder. So I've seen it all. So when thank God, I'll say thank goodness and God for being a musician. Outside of me being a musician, I won't be in church. I'm being honest with you. I'm being honest, because people are just people, and people have bad behavior across the board. And the more powerful they are, the more they tend to be prone to certain bad behaviors, because people give them that level of power, and they can get away with a lot of atrocities for a long time, to a large extent, where if they tell you, if you are really, really deep in it, you won't believe.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're not supposed to believe, because they did a good job. They did numbers on your brain. You're not supposed to believe. They're supposed to do a number on your brain. That's why we ask you to have relationship with God for your own self. There's no problems you're going through that nobody have gone through, that other people have not gone through before. Either medical reasons, either you want more children, either there's a sickness, or there's no problem you're going through that somebody else have not gone through. And there are all types of remedies for every single one of those problems. Some of those remedies are spiritual. Some of those remedies are natural. Some of those remedies are mental. Most of them are mental issues, as in like psychological issues. A lot of them are issues that we can say one thing to you and you'll be set free from that bondage. So a lot of them are mental bondage. A lot of them are lies, false belief systems that you have been socialized with. Majority of them, dare I say 85, 90, 97% of them are mental. Just one thing we can say to you and you will be free. Sometimes they come from a pastor. But again, if a pastor can just pray for you and you kneel down and you fall all over the place, that gives them tremendous amount of power. You know, if I play music, listen, one day I was playing, let me tell you a quick secret right now. Music is part of the secrets of church.
Yes, now. Yes.
You know now, so one day, me, I like Shoki Lobeoge, as in like, let's finish church, max 2 hours. That 2 hours is because I was actually born and bred where I would stay in church all day on Sunday. So I can handle 2 hours. I actually think everything you're doing is not more than 1 hour. It's just the fluff. It's just fluff. It's just nonsense fluff. Why are you announcing to us when we all have phones, when you take another 30 minutes to do announcement? It makes no sense.
Exactly.
You know, but I can handle it because I was raised. I'm in church all day long on Sunday, so I can handle 2 hours. So one day there was this, they were stretching it out, So I was on the keyboard and I was playing, you know, all the strings and the music and everything, and everybody was falling apart. In 1 second, God forgive me, I just stopped. I said, this is I'm the one causing it. If I stop this music, this whole thing will stop.
Everybody will, everybody will like, okay, tell you later, yeah. Service is in Gunju.
So I say all this to tell you that ye are gods. You have power. Don't give your power away. You are, ladies in Nigeria, especially, or Nigerians, because you do it here, even you do it here too. If they say, what do you call it? What God cannot do cannot exist is in our town now. All of you will show up there. You will take a day off. You will go.
Was in London. Did you not see the one that happened in London?
The whole stadium. Shout out to that young man. He has some power.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. So now let's talk to you about your own power. You have more power than anybody's slogans or anybody's quick, slight bites of words, you know, that they use to cajole you. You have power. Have your own relationship with God. And back to this topic on this Nigerian pastor thing, we went deep that hole because of there's a pastor thing. That when you say somebody is a pastor, till today, if I start to talk about pastor right now and I'm at dinner with my parents, there's a little awkwardness that would just enter the room. I don't know if they are scared or something. I don't know if they feel like there may be thunderstorm. I will now say, remember I was there? I know I was 8 years old, but I'm the guy that paid attention to everything. I saw everything. You know, like, and sister, you know, touch no man, I'm anointed. I'm the anointed. Don't touch me. You know, I'm the anointed in this conversation. So I try to be respectful. Like, I try to be respectful in general to man of God. Like, for example, people will say, why are they buying jets? I said, why can't they buy jets? If they know how to say one or two words and you're donating money and they're buying jets, so be it.
Exactly.
It's your responsibility to work on your own mindset. That is your responsibility.
Absolutely.
You know. Yeah. Anyway.
So crazy. Anyway, thank you so much for that contribution there. Guys, this is just obviously this talk of all these churches and churches. Me, I've like every time like we are announcing church, we are looking for so. Me, I will just sit down there, be looking to me. Don't just come to work for God. And I'm like, but only ènìyàn ní wojú Ọlọ́run ní wọkàn. I think it was Ebenezer Obey or something that sang that song. Like
it sounds like it.
But God is looking at my heart. So because I wore makeup, and when I go to, I don't wear every makeup, like some makeup, just look, and I don't wear revealing clothes to church. And then they're like, I can't be a choir. I'm like, okay, so since you guys,
you can be.
I come to church now, even as the way it is now, I'm in a way I feel like I don't even want to attend church anymore because at times I look at things and I'm like, why is God allowing these things to happen? I've kind of like lost a lot of things by not actually going to God myself, because when I newly came into this country, I swear to God, this is not me talking, because when I actually go fasting, I pray. Then I was not going to any church. When I was in Adro system, then in the UK, I was not going to any church. I swear to God, I fast and pray. That thing that I asked for, I get it. Now I'm like, I have to go to church before my prayers can be answered. And I would really want to cut that. I really want to cut. I want to be able to go back to that time. Like, no, okay, this week I'm going to fast 2 days, and that 2 days, this is what I want to focus my prayer on. This is what I want to keep saying. No distractions, nothing. But I used to be able to do that. But now I'm like, I've not been. Now this is me convention. I've not been to church for 2 weeks. The guilt alone. So next, I won't be in church because
the guilt.
Exactly, because next this Sunday that is coming, I won't be in church because I have another Igbadun that wants to go and Igbadun somewhere. And the,
Ha.
and the guilt is already in my mind. And again, in a way, I think the reason why I'm still going to church is mainly because of the children. I want to try
Mm-hmm.
and get them in that part.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that still you are telling me that, Mom, why do I have to go to church with you? And I'm like, well,
Mm.
it's Sunday, one day out of 7
I think
days.
I think I think there's a lot of positives to them going to church.
Mm-hmm.
Our kids. I think there's a lot of positives. None of it is spiritual in nature, in my opinion. We try to make it about spiritual, and it's not. I don't think it's spiritual. I think I don't know how to word it properly. I might do a whole session on it. But what I like is structure. A lot of Onyibo people, sometimes they just wake up around. You see, when you have too much time available for nonsense, right? The devil's playground is the idle mind.
Yeah.
So if there's something else structure, if you want to go and give away for the needy, something volunteer on Sundays, that's what you want to do, I think. But you need to have something. But it's the same reason why I would say, should you just have one person companionship and have sex with them for the rest of your life versus marriage? The same reason.
Yeah.
I choose marriage because mentally it gives structure.
Yeah.
It's something that is a commitment, something that holds your feet to the fire,
You have something to
as opposed to, yes, it's a commitment, as opposed to, hold on one second, hold on. Sorry about that. I thought my wife left the house like 2 hours ago. She's saying bye. I thought she left the house like 19 minutes ago. So it's one of those things that I think it brings a certain level of structure. So even the scripture talks about fellowship, right? I
Yeah.
like the fellowship aspect of it. Fellowship with people of the same faith. I think that's value in that without necessarily making it all spiritual. You
Yeah.
know, if you just leave your house and you go for 2 hours and you come back home, you have to take 1 hour to prepare for that. The children see that. When you
Yeah.
come back on your way back, you choose that day is the day you want to, eat out, give them something extra outside of
Yeah.
home food. You spend time together. If you have a big car, everybody's inside the car, they just look forward to that.
Yeah.
It brings a certain level of structure to everything outside of work. It's the same reason. My parents would say they would try to use the Bible scripture that said "Kọ́ ọmọ rẹ ní ọ̀nà tí," so that tó bá dàgbà kò ní kúrò ńbẹ̀. I don't know how to say that in English.
Yeah.
It won't depart from it. That's applicable to everything, but more importantly, the examples you set for them on a day-to-day basis, as opposed to what you say to them. Some people go to church, they actually fight in their parking lot because they are gossiping.
Yes.
So
I
what
know.
are we talking about exactly? No. Your church is not better. Stop it. What are we talking about exactly? So I think the structural part of it, I think is good. If you have something else that you do like that, for like Muslims, they have Fridays. They go to their own gym or thing. They have 7-day Adventists that they do on Saturday. I personally like it. I am willing to admit that it's purely sentimental because of the way I was socialized. But I like it, and I actually bring my kids up in that way. So sometimes, like, I don't enforce my kids that they must do Sunday medicine. I go out of town a lot and travel a lot for work. When I'm not around, they don't go to church, and I'm okay with that. When I'm around, we go to church. Some Sundays, their mom say, "I'm not feeling it today." I'll say, "Hey boys, let's go." Some Sundays I'll say, "It's okay, you can chill with your." So there's no rigid thing around it, but I like them to have the experience. Yeah.
Yeah. So for my kids, obviously, I've always gone with them when they were much younger. So now, obviously, the oldest is 21, and they're like, "Mom, why do we have to?" So I kind of like made like every other Sunday. So if I don't, at times I'm like, "No, I don't want them to delay me. I'll just leave them. I can easily pack all 5 of them to the car and take them." But now I'm like, okay, at times, okay, just like I said, not the Sunday. If I feel like okay, give them a break, I will go alone, and then others are like, "Oh, we are all going together. Let's go." So that's
Yeah.
what I'm kind of like doing with them now. Because when they started questioning me, come, why do we have to go to church with you? We don't want to. I'm like, but there's a reason. God, we put God first. This, that, this,
Mm-hmm.
and they pray.
Yeah.
Now we will have. It's currently almost 10 o'clock. So nighttime prayer is 9 o'clock in my house. They will have done
Right.
it on the live stream. They will have gathered each other and then they will have done the prayer, and that's them. 5-10 minutes they've done it, and then they prepare for bed. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that's so sort of go to church every Sunday and that. So yeah, that's that with that.
For me, my answer, for me, my if my boys, my children, my daughter is 6 years old. If they came to me and they asked me why do we have to go to church, my answer would probably have been like, it's tradition. What do you mean? Why is that new to you? It's just tradition. It's what we do. I won't put any extra, you know,
Any
kidney
sugar
around
coated,
it.
because
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just what we do. You can do whatever you want to do. Once you're 18, you're out of my house. See what I just said there? It's not just
18,
18. It's not just
18.
18.
It's not that my own is 21. She's still in my house.
That's what I said. That's what I just said. It's not just 18. You have to be out of my house. If you're still in my house, consider yourself 18.
Oh, exactly. You, as long as you're in my house, you keep going. 18 k. I said that as well, that when you're 18 now, they look at me when I tell them that this that they look at me like where did that come from? So that one is another conversation for another day,
Yeah, yeah. You're in my house. What do you mean? Unless you want to split my bills with me, then I'm okay with that too. Until then, you're 18.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I
Good.
from Vivian. Vivian said some people are of the opinion that the house girl poisoned Shimite. Well, allegedly, from the story I've read, it was the house girl who called her brother to say she was not able to get access into the room where her husband allegedly locked her in.
Hmm.
So the brother was the one who came, broke into the door, and that was how they found her. So, like I said, this is still a developing story. We've really not heard a lot other than that story of what happened. The husband has been, in fact, according to the way they presented it in the news, he has been taken into custody for his own protection.
Right, because he's a
That's
suspect, but at the same time for his own protection.
for his own protection. So that's how they have been reporting. Obviously, people who are really close to her, who know their relationship, obviously who know what's been going on, have been like, no, there's be involved. He's always, he's recently just transferred all, like, changed all of her properties to his own name. And she only recently asked about a list of all of her properties, and then she died a few days
Well,
after.
those are all suspect behavior.
Exactly. And obviously, like I read earlier on, he follows her everywhere. He's isolated her. He
The
doesn't
isolation.
doesn't allow her to do anything. Like, he goes everywhere, wants to go everywhere. Doesn't want her communicating with anybody. And to me, like I said, like my own trial, I be Lagos born and bred. Walk. You can't tell me not, like, I've already, these people were in my life before I met you. So you can't just tell me to discard them. I'm sorry.
Yeah, isolation. So people that you can ask them to be isolated are usually people who are also not all right themselves, right?
Yeah.
When I say they're not all right, as in like they are vulnerable, they are easy target. Maybe they have something they are also seeking from the other person. It doesn't make the other person not being the perpetuator or a victimizer. Doesn't make you not being a victim. That's precisely what I'm saying. It's easy for you to be a victim if you are vulnerable or you are seeking something from these people. It could be spiritual in nature. Like, for example, this I just scheduled a video for tomorrow on the Shannon Sharp situation.
Yeah.
Right? The Shannon Sharp, the NFL player, ex-NFL player, football player, who's now caught a lawsuit for $50 million. The girl is claiming to be a victim. It has to be investigated. The same thing with the pastor. It has to be investigated. Right? Because you are in a position of power, a position of higher authority, and that person might be seeking something from you, and that could make them vulnerable. It doesn't mean you get to just victimize them. Right? Yeah. So if you feel like, oh, you are now the victim when you victimized other people, then sorry, you are in the position of higher power, higher authority, and society is going to hold you accountable. Same thing for this pastor.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much, man of Presid, for your contribution tonight. I really appreciate your presence here. Uncle Beno, I see him there. He's not wanting to jump into the.
It's probably busy. It's probably busy. My brother is busy. Shout out to Uncle Beno.
Keep hiding. So, guys,
wait, this comment here.
from from Felicia?
Yeah, that one. I think you had it on the screen, right? Christianity have been as misleading and shouldn't consider be your governing principle. I don't know. What do you think about that?
Obviously, we saw Pastor now, and with all of these things that's been happening in Nigeria, how many of them has come out to talk about it?
Exactly.
Unlike what happened in what they did to those Fulani people, we also how they came out. But then look at what's actually happened to people of their own faith, and none of them has come out. In fact, there was a certain pastor who came out that it was more like talking about only members of his own church.
Yeah.
So it's only members of his own church that is concerned about. It does not care about other Christians and other denominations. I'm like,
Yes.
oh, you be pastor,
Yes.
does your own members or your own Christianity differentiates from other Christians in other parts of the world that are being impacted by? So I was just like, no, they are hypocrites. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah.
I don't.
Can they at least condemn the behavior? Because you don't have to condemn the person until they condemn them in court, but you can condemn the behavior.
Exactly, but none of them, even Christian Association of whatever, can. They've not come out to say anything. They've not come out to say anything with all of these things, and we have more churches in Nigeria as compared to places of work or even offices, and these things is happening. Like all of these are going on, and none of them, even the Christian Association, none of them has come out to say anything.
Yes.
And I'm just like, I'm sorry, but yeah,
exactly. So what does that tell us? That tells us that religion and politics, they are one of the same kind.
Yeah.
Okay. So and that means they have more responsibility that they're not willing to step up to that plate yet.
That will take them up the properties they are getting from whoever in policies that they decide. At the end of the day, before Tinubu, before Baba Ojugo was in power, all of them used to come out and say they condemn this, they condemn this, they condemn this. No, Baba, all of this is starts happening, and none of them is calling it out. So I mean, obviously, in this aspect of Christianity is where at times I agree with Brother Freeze at times. I'm not always agree with him, but when he talks about the way he calls out other people, I'm like, yeah, it actually makes sense because nothing beats knowing God yourself. And there was another post from a pastor that says that God does not love poor people, and I'm like,
it be on me. I was saying that.
I was like, that one 5. You must not do a live show on this, or otherwise you don't go free enter Naija again. I swear to God, that's so many things.
You know why? You know why it's difficult for me to do shows on those kind of stuff? Because of the background that I shared with you earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not surprised. I don't have zero expectations of any pastors. So I feel like it's like I already knew this, right? That this is just how they move. The manipulation that they put to every word, even came back out to even try to manipulate it to say
I saw that take my time before I go to bed to go back again because my spirit is telling me I need to talk. But I'm like, if I talk, I swear to God, I won't be able to enter Nigeria again. But I'm like, no, let me just put my mouth.
Let me share this with you. Some years back, more than a decade ago, I was attending a church, and I wouldn't do that today because honestly, there's a whole lot more to it. But my pastors, one of my pastors in the past, there were allegations around the small church. The church was probably about 27.5 people, so it was a small church. So, and there were allegations that he's flirty. Let me just say he's a flirty guy. He's a young guy, and he's touchy-feely on the girls, the younger girls. He's married, So my opinion at the time, my opinion at the time, I was like, this guy, you don't have to do that inside of this. If you tell me, I'll take you to a strip club. That's who I am as a person. I said, like, that's how understanding of pastors I am.
Yeah.
If you're especially a young couple or something like that, and you feel like instead of making a mess where you know how they say where you shouldn't be pooping where you eat, right?
Yeah.
That was my take at the time. It's like, just tell me I'm your guy. Again, I was a musician in the church. We're about the same age. Don't touch any of these girls. Because you will cast. It's only a matter. That's how understanding I am of pastors. I said, like, I don't put them on that pedestal. They are humans. It's actually worse for them. They get tempted even more. Because of guess who? You ladies.
True.
Sometimes they say, oh, this lady that's sitting in front of the church with her legs wide open. No, that's the obvious stuff. Sometimes it's not that obvious.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's very, very almost innocent in nature, but people get caught up. They feel safe.
True.
Before you know it, they'll be knocking for a while. They're in the same church.
Yeah.
So that's how fickle our mind is. If people are vulnerable enough, like those pastors, sometimes they're vulnerable. Doesn't mean they're not guilty. It just means the human brain, how it works. And they get exposed to so many ladies who yield to them for every answer. Was it? I think. Was it? I think. Was it here the other time when Uncle Patrick was talking about people listen to? There's a lady that was listening to him to the point that the woman was starting to DM inappropriate stuff.
Oh, yeah. I think I
So
remember. Yeah.
yeah. So if you get opportunities like that, now I'm speaking as a man. If you get opportunities like that in a setting where people keep coming to quote unquote a corridor somewhere or a UD somewhere, right? You might take one of those those opportunities, especially if the household or in the house is not exactly as pleasant, or exactly as comfortable or safe or anything like that. If you're weak enough, if you're vulnerable enough, you might take it.
Yeah.
So I don't, when it comes to pastors, I don't, you just bring them off that pedestal. They're humans. God has
Yeah.
placed them in that space to guide you. They call them shepherds for a reason. They are guiding you, but don't put them on that pedestal where you think they can't. The more powerful they are, the more vulnerable they are to this behavior.
True.
The church, one of the churches where I was raised, the story that came out after the fact is that one of the biggest pastors there, that everybody was blessing him left and right. Guess what took him out? Oh, Bernie. According to the story that I heard after the fact, I left home a long time ago, but that's what I heard. The story is all muddled up in spiritual stuff. I think it was our mommy. I told Yemi, my lover, I was Mojisola, all this kind of crazy, those crazy stories that Yemi, my lover, used to write, where some under the water type of girl will come. It's nothing more than kwekus, nothing. Come on, Matonra.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jerry, for having me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Man of Freddy, for being here. Right, guys.
Yeah.
So those of you who are just here, this is Man of Prestige. It talks, it talks everything marriage, relationship, advices, work on your marriage. Go check him out. He's got lots of stuff there. I'm always camping on his page once I get back from work because of the time difference. But yeah, he does good stuff as well. Thank you so much for your presence.
Thank
today,
you.
man.
We'll talk soon later, okay? Bye.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Right, guys. So I'm just gonna round up, and I'll be rounding up by the advice I really want to give women. Man of Prestige has shared part of all of his stuff as well, and more of this relationship stuff as well. It talks more of it a lot on his channel as well. Like signs, men, signs to watch out for and stuff like that. He talks really great things about relationships. So and I think Uncle Beno as well. I was actually on one of his live streams where he was hosting a show where it was actually like, women, come and tell us what you think men does that you feel like no, somebody you love should not be saying this to you, should not be gaslighting you, should not be negging, is it negging or egging you, stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, some of these men, they do some of these things, and then when you react as the wife, then they'll come out and tell you, oh, you're disrespectful, you're rude. Me, like I told you, all of these things, they are not new to me in my marriage. I have had them in my marriage. I have had them that once I stamped and say, no, I am not backing down. And that's something I'm like, no, I would think about it, and I'm like, stylish, just step back from it. So no marriage is the same, but a marriage whereby the person will claim to love you, a marriage where the man will claim, like, your man or your woman in a marriage should have your back 247. And if you find yourself in a relationship whereby, just in case of this Shemete that we're talking about, she is beautiful, she is rich, and now, like I said, this is a developing story. I'm sure there's still going to be many more of about the story that is going to come out here. She is rich. She's a special she's an advisor to the to the, what's it called? Special advisor to the Delta State on trade and export. She's beauty with brains. She's got money. She's not the kind of woman that a man would ask that, what are you bringing to the table? She's not the kind of woman that a man would say it's 50-50 bills. You heard from that video we're watching earlier on that, what, it seems like it's a pattern for this her husband who allegedly unalived her. Should we say the man is jealous of her? Should we say she is jealous of her? And guys, I'm rounding up here. And my advice for you women is this. I know things like this happen in a relationship. If you're saying it before you go into the marriage, mean it just as you're saying it, so that when it happens, are able to take your decision to leave and not feel guilty about it. If you're able to stand up and say, no, I am not taking this. If there's changes, maybe that marriage is worth staying in. If the man still, attempts it again, that is your chance to leave. Just like Man of Prestige said there, if something like this happened, it obviously must have piled up over time. It could have been conversation, it could have been actions, it could have been things that could have piled up. When stuff like that happen, even if you're not working out of the marriage for good, work out for safety first. Work out for safety first. But this woman, I don't know for how long they've been. Is she married to this guy? And from that story, I'm gonna go finish watching that story. And probably, like I said, if there's any more developments, I'm gonna be back and we're going to talk about this story. But like I said, I'm gonna schedule the live stream for the other story I heard or that I listened to today of a woman who have actually lost her 2 children in the process of her husband trying to panabit her. So women, marriage, DV in a marriage is not the kind of behavior or attitude or actions you want to endure in a marriage. It's not. You want to endure hunger, that's your business. You want to enjoy being the understanding wife and living in abject poverty when your man could do better to keep his family afloat, it's up to you. But when it comes to domestic violence, when it comes to DV, you are not only just partially living your life, like you're not living your life the way you should be living it. As obviously marriage, like I said, marriage is sweet when you are with a right partner, when you are with a person who actually valued you, who actually the way his own life meant a lot to him, your life also meant the same to him. But if it's not, if his life is not, if it's not treating your life the way he's actually treating his own life, which means he cares a lot about his own life, if it's not value your life that way, then it puts his hands on you, you walk out. Like I said, you're not only just living as if you're probably dead, but just living. Even if you're now not concerned about your own self, if you're now not concerned about your own well-being, and you already have children in such marriage, like I said, the effect of domestic violence on children, you will not know the kind of damage that has caused into them until they grow older. You will not know. And like I said, this is me. I'm saying this and I'm going to keep hammering on about it. DV is not what you want to endure in a marriage. Women come out a lot to talk about DV relationships in marriages. Men, it's high time you come out and start saying yours as well. Because a lot of men, like men, don't come out and talk about these things. So when these things happen and women are talking, we really want to know why it's happening. And in this case of this woman, I don't think anybody's been able to answer my question. Obviously, pastor, her husband is a pastor. A lot of things church has done, when it comes to the relationship. Oh, be managing, be praying for the man. Even if the man is the one that is the problem, the woman should be praying for the man. What stops the man from praying for the woman? What stops the man from praying for the woman? But it's always the woman. So I would have loved to know why this woman decided to stay. She has money. She has power. Even use the power to shakara him, say, try him again. You go stay for prison for the rest of your life. But our family tried, from all I've read, our family tried to get her out of that marriage, but only God knows what this man had on her. And it seems like it's a pattern for this man. It's been alleged that even the name that we all know him as now is allegedly not his real name. And I'm going to be keeping an eye on that story. And he's allegedly done this to like multiple women, So please, DV is not where you want to stay when you have children, and even with children, even if you don't have children. It's not, because your life matters and you only live this life once. Like, just block your ears out to whatever anybody will say. Block your ears to whatever your pastor, your spiritual leader will say. Block your ears to even what your parents will say, because at the end of the day, you are the one who's living, you are the one who's in that marriage. Your parents are not in that marriage. When the man is giving you basketballs, your parents are not there. When the man is giving you basketballs, when he's beating you, your pastor, your general overseer or whatever is not there. Only to buy the word you are thankful to buy then. I don't know how they talk that Yoruba, but when it comes to you, you should sit down, reassess your life, and make that decision that will save your life. It's better your children see you alive and be able to see you, play with you, you take them out, than they going to visit you in a graveyard. That's my advice for you. Like this woman, like I said, may God, rest her soul. And like I said, I pray by the time they investigate this case, if the man is found to be guilty of unaliving her, let him bear the consequences of his actions. And now, like I said, I don't know if she has children with him. That's the family. The children lost two parents. One is gone forever, and one in prison. Is that what you want for your family? As a man who is used to using his hands, is that what you want for your family? Is that what you want to subject your children to? And as a woman, staying in a DV marriage, oh, I don't have where to go. I don't have money. I don't have this. You lose your life, your children will suffer. I'm going to read the comments and then I'm going to round up, guys. And welcome to those of you who joined us at some point. Please make sure you subscribe and like this video. Like there's going to be a live stream tomorrow. It's probably going to be about 7 o'clock or maybe later. It depends on if there's no other shows online. Okay, so Vivian said Nigerian people. It's not even Nigerian people. There's the society on its own. Like here in diaspora, women, people don't care. Relationship breakdown, before you know it, they don't jump onto another. Like the women in this country, they don't. Oyibo people, they don't freaking care. They even do humanitarian job work past African people. Any relationship stresses them, they walk out and they move on. They don't clamor about. They don't say, I'm waiting for to hear from the Lord. I'm waiting to see from the Holy Spirit. What's their own with that? So it's not only about Nigerian people alone. The society entirely should stop it, because at the end of the day, if it was a man who is a single father, all of this name calling, all of these shenanigans, they don't call them out. But when it comes to a woman, it's a woman that cannot breathe again because she left a marriage. Why? Even when it's obviously clear that relationship breaking down is not her fault, but they would still castigate the woman. Why not the man? So the woman might be alive today if you all did shame, if you all did not shame her for her status. Exactly. Like I said, I mean, she was brave. She has to give marriage a try again. But then Vivian V said there's a channel I've stopped following now. It does awareness on immigrants in Libya, but it's constantly dragging Nigerian women and Nigerian single mothers. It's part of the problem then. Oh, hopefully I don't come across that channel, because if I come across it, I'll come and drag the person. Abby said, Vivian, I don't know why they see marriage as marriage is not a do or die affair. Marriage is not a do or die affair. You enter it, it suits you fine, great. You enter it, it doesn't go the way you plan it. We're just talking about Yabo Ojo here. She said, she enters into a marriage. When she realized what happened on the night of her marriage, she realized that, oh, that wasn't what she thought of marriage. And then she made that conscious decision to walk out of her marriage. Look at her today. She's doing great. She's doing great. Exactly, the rate of femicide, like I said, we have a country where justice system is non-existent. So women, advice I'm going to just stay alive for yourself. If you're by, you stay there because you want to, because of your children will live their lives. Your children will live their lives will continue, just like as life is continuing now. Life will continue. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. Like I said, this is a developing story. If I find any further updates, we'll definitely, I'll definitely schedule a live stream. And I think there's going to be a live stream tomorrow. I'll probably try. I don't think I'll be able to do a live stream on Friday, because I don't finish work on Friday till 9 o'clock. So it will be too late to do any live stream on Friday. So which means that I won't have any other live stream until next week, because I won't be available over the weekend. I'm away over the weekend. So you'll probably see a sit-down video on the days that I'm not on live, but live stream will return back on the Tuesday once I get back to Glasgow, or even on the Monday night when I get back to Glasgow. Thank you so much, Abby, for being here. Thank you so much, everybody. Guys, please engage with all of my sit-down videos. I dropped a recent video about Cybex, about CBEX actually, EFCC saying that they can't get the money away. They can't get the money back. Yes, I'm away over the weekend. I will let them know I'm away over the weekend. I need to pack my bags tomorrow, actually, so I don't forget. So I'm not rushing. I'm just downloading the app now to be able to track my flights, So they said they can't find my booking, but I've only just downloaded that app. Anyway, so please engage with all of my sit-down videos. I've got a lot of videos, sit-down videos I've already gotten. I was thinking of maybe making another video tonight, but I need to sleep now. I'm tired. So thank you so much, guys. I hope you've all taken a lesson or two from all I've shared on this channel today. Like I said, me sit down here. I am not a saint though. I am not a saint. When I need to give basketballs, I give basketballs. When I need to mellow, I mellow. But I will never, ever keep quiet when it involves the case of Davy, okay? Because at the end of the day, I have been another person's child, and you've not married me to train me, to teach me to behave. No, that's not your duty. You know, Vivian said, thanks for the stream. Good night and see you all. Thank you so much, each and every one of you. I really appreciate you all. Please, if you've not yet liked this video, please do so before you leave. At some point, I had about almost 60 people watching, and so far we've only got, I mean, the likes gone better now. We now have 31 likes. I really appreciate those of you who have liked this video. Thank you so much. And please, if you've not yet subscribed to my channel, do not hesitate to like, subscribe, turn on the post notification, the bell, so that anytime I upload any video or anytime I do any impromptu live stream, I might just come in tomorrow morning and come and do live stream there. That's as the spirit leads. So if you turn on the bell beside the subscribe button, it will notify you anytime I come online or even when I drop a video. So please do that and join my membership. Shout out to Abby. Abby is one of my members. Life with Nat is also one of my members. So my member fee ranges from £4.99 a month to like £2.99 to £9.99. It's just a way of you supporting me and say, that Mama 5, this live stream, I enjoyed it. Oh yeah, take this. Buy yourself Costa for 1 week, so that's just a way of you supporting my channel. And like I said, if you have any business for me or any collaborations, here is my email on the screen, thatmama5@gmail.com. If you have any business for me, or you want to advertise your program, or you want to advertise your product on my show, contact me. I can do it for an affordable price for you. And also, I know some of you don't like giving me what's it called, super chat, because YouTube come out their own commission. Anytime you super chat, YouTube takes a commission as well. So thank you to those of you who have been giving me back-to-back PayPal. Thank you so much. And you can also PayPal me. PayPal is thatmama5. You can put some tertiary in there for me. And also, if you're not following me on Instagram, I am known as thatmama5 on Instagram as well. Go follow me there. If there's any story you have for me, feel free to DM me your stories. And if you want to remain anonymous, yes, we can make that work. And if you want to be a guest on my show, anytime I drop a link in the show, click on it, come share your opinion. Like, we agree to disagree, and you're allowed to hear your views and opinion respectfully, okay? And also, if you're not following me on TikTok, I am known as Just Doing Me on TikTok, and my business handle on TikTok is TMO5 Candle Co. So you can shop my product there. I sell scented candles, wax melts, home diffusers, car diffusers. You can shop all of that. And on TikTok, there's always offers every day. Guys, you enter TikTok shop, before you know it, you spend £50. And I'm like, what's in I buy? Yeah. So go check out TMO5 Candle Co on TikTok shop. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Have a lovely Wednesday night, and I shall see you tomorrow. Yes, we're going to do that live stream about those couple who obviously their child, ended their child's life while they were Glasgow's each other. Thank you, everybody. Shout out again to the man of prestige. I really appreciate you being here. Shout out to Abby as well, who was on the back end. And I shall see you all tomorrow. All right. Bye, everyone. Bye. At least my laptop is not screaming today. It's just quiet. I love that. Thank you, guys. See you later.